The Emerald Square Mall sewer pump, right, is called that because it's currently owned by the mall owners, right? It's an absolutely critical piece of infrastructure in the town. And Mark and I had some discussions about who should be the rightful owners of this particular pump. Now, back in the days when the mall was first being built, maybe it was the right choice to have them do it. Maybe it was, there was good intentions to see, but, and when the Walsh company had charge of maintaining it, there were no issues. But that's not the reality today. There are some issues that have happened. There's been some spillage. There's some maintenance requirements. We've had some discussions with the current owners of the mall, right, specifically about this pump and what it can do. I've had conversations with Mark on a number of occasions about how we should proceed or how we should go forward. And I think we're starting to hone in on a strategy on how we want to approach this. We've started to do some groundwork in obtaining some of the funds to be able to, one, either replace or completely rebuild. I think it's a replace based on what Mark has put together, and bring this at no cost to the ratepayers. If we were to take on a large project, it shouldn't be at the expense of the current ratepayers. This was not something that they originally had signed up. It wasn't part of the original infrastructure when the rates were all set. It's not part of the current maintenance plan. So we've gone out and looked at potential grant funding to be able to provide all the funding to, one, purchase and then completely rebuild or build a new pump and take that from the current mall owners. The current mall owners are agreeable to this. So this is what precipitated our conversations with the mall owners to say, hey, look, you guys aren't doing a very good job at maintaining this pump. Look at the ground. Look at your bills and your invoices that you're getting for this piece of property. It is a critical piece of infrastructure that we have residents that are tied into it, right? So if that does go down, there are residents that are impacted and affected by that, right? I'd rather be looking at how we can control our own destiny and making sure that we're taking care of those residents and any potential future residents by bringing that piece of critical infrastructure under the public domain, right? And through the Board of Public Works and to the sewer ratepayers. Had conversations with the town council as well on this one. Spoke to a couple of members. They've even expressed a willingness that if we needed to go in and tap into town reserves, right, which we're sitting on a little over $7 million in immediate reserves and some other capital funding reserves that come close to a total of about $10 million. So we're in a good enough place to be able to operate from that we would potentially ask the town council to come in, foot the bill, let's say we don't get this grant, and be able to then figure out a new hookup, some type of betterment, if you will, for any new connections that would pay back the town for that fee at no impact to any of the current ratepayers. And now we're at 2.6. And I don't see those prices ever coming down. I don't think that's something that we consider. But I do think now is the right time.
We need to take it at some point because the mall isn't capable of maintaining it. So as long as we're going to get all the revenue that they're currently getting, from Target and all the other people that are tied into that thing, that would offset a lot.
It's probably only a matter of time before we have a situation where they either walk away from it, right, or nobody will do the work for them under the conditions in which they're willing to hire somebody. Or it's substandard work. Don't know, not going to say, I'm not speculating. I think those are all worst case scenarios, right?
Yeah.
I just foresee that this will end up on our plate one day anyway. And what I'd like to do is control the terms and conditions on which it does and when it does.